Hi friends, in today's class we are going to release some tension in the hips, we are going to open up the groin area and we are simply going to create some space. Now to start we are going to come into an extended child's pose. You can bring the feet together, you can bring the knees wide, sink the hips down towards the ankles, and we're walking the hands out forward, allowing the head to rest. If you'd like to use a cushion or a pillow underneath the head or to pad off the knees, please feel free. We're going to find a breath here. And child's pose is a beautiful invitation to surrender to that nice hip opening position. And releasing some tension in the back. And if you can, send your breath to the back body. And using your breath to create space. Breathe, you're doing great. I'm taking about 5 more deep breaths into this position. And on your next exhale, you can look up towards the hands. We're going to inhale, press the underarms down and towards the mat, press the hands down, shift the body forward, and then exhaling to extend the legs out behind you. We're going to create a pillow for our head with our hands. So slight elevation in the chest, but the head relaxes. is taking a few breaths here. Notice how your hips are feeling after our first pose. Good. On your next inhale, you can lift the head slightly. We're going to scoot yourselves a little bit towards the left side of the mat. So you can bend the right knee in a 90-degree. And then from there, you can, again, make that pillow of your hands if that feels comfortable. And we're coming into a half frog pose here. If you prefer to turn the head towards one side, please feel free. But make sure when we do the other side, that you also switch towards the other cheek. And we're about halfway through the pose. If you feel like you need to wiggle a little or adjust the pose, please feel free to do so. And about 5 more deep breaths. Good. Inhaling to lift the head back up, slide the leg back to center, and find yourself in a neutral position. You can rest the head again on towards the top of the head. Slight elevation in the chest. Space for the breath. Good. Making your way towards the other side. So we're going to scoot your body a little bit towards the right so that the left knee will remain on the mat. Once we bend that knee into that 90 degree, and we can allow our head to rest again. Like I said, when you put one cheek down, make sure to now put the other cheek down so that your neck is also nice and balanced out to each side. And then again here, we relax, we find a breath. Slowing down your breath. Stick with it now, we're almost there. Taking about 5 more deep breaths. And slowly on your next exhale, you can lift the head, slide the leg back. Center yourself on the mat, relax the head back down and towards the hands in a neutral position. So forehead meets the hands. Good. A few breaths in a rebound. Perfect. And from here we're going to lift the head. We're going to press the hands underneath the shoulders down on towards the mat. Press ourselves up on towards the knees. Rise. And I'd like you to turn on towards the mat so that both knees will remain supported in the next position. We are going to come into frog pose. Now this is quite an intense pose, so please feel free to come out earlier whenever you need it. But we're going to bring the knees wide and we're going to bring the heels in line with the knees and the knees in line with the hips. So you're sort of in a 90-degree bend in each. Then you can come down on towards the forearms if that is available for you. And I'll slide back just a little bit so that I will be in frame. Good. And this is where we relax for as far that is possible for you. We're not going to stay into this pose for too long because it is a really intense one. And it might not be the most comfortable thing for your knees, so if you want to pad up with a blanket or cushions, then please feel free. Just taking a few breaths here. If you are more comfortable, you might like to lower the head back down on towards the hands. But for me, this pose is quite intense. So I prefer to stay up on towards my elbows. You're doing great. Focus on the breath. Only have about 5 more deep breaths here. Perfect. Slowly bring your weight up on towards the hands and then press yourself into your hands. Lift up, lift the knees, sort of knee toe the legs back together. And then we're gonna come back lengthwise on the mat. Good. Next pose we're gonna come into will be a lizard pose. So you can step the right leg forward towards the outside of the mat. Then the hands can meet towards the inside of the foot. And then you can walk the back knee back just a little bit until you're comfortable. If you prefer to use some props, bring the hands on towards the props to create some more space in the upper body. Please feel free. And see if you can relax here. You can let yourself hang a little bit. We're looking for a stretch in towards the hip area. Usually you'll feel it in the hamstring of the front leg and around hip flexors / quads of the back leg. Good. Just taking a few breaths here. If this is comfortable for you and you feel like you could go a little lower, you might like to lower down on towards the forearms. And it might be comfortable to roll towards the outer edge of the front foot. And again, some nice deep breaths here. Doing great. Staying for about 5 more deep breaths. And then slowly making your way out of the pose, meeting back in tabletop. And then we're going to move into the same pose on towards the other side. So left leg now steps forwards towards the outer edge of the mat. Right knee inches back. Choose your preferred position. So that can be up on towards the hands, down on towards the elbows, maybe with the foot rolled out. And you can always adjust during the pose. If you feel like, you can go a little further once we're in it for a little bit. So relaxing here, stretching out, finding your breath. You're doing great. About halfway through, if you'd like to adjust, please feel free. Good. Only 5 more breaths. You're doing so great. Stick with it. And when you're ready, come out of the pose, meeting back into tabletop. And then we take a moment here and we are going to move into our next position, which will be pigeon pose. And from here, we're going to bring the right knee towards the right wrist. Now, pigeon pose, it has all sorts of different variations. If it's available for you, you can always inch the foot further forward. I prefer to have the foot closer towards my hip. So see where you are at in this pose. If you feel like the hips are quite high up, you can always bring a cushion underneath the glutes just to elevate the ground towards you a little bit. Then from here, if you're okay, maybe you want to walk yourself a little further down. And maybe you're comfortable coming into a sleeping pigeon. And again, here we take a few deep breaths and we allow the body to relax. Stretching out. And stay, breathe. You're doing great. About 5 more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, we slowly rise, plant the palms. Gonna press into the palms, press yourself away from the mat a little bit, lifting up on towards the back knee. And then we scooch the right knee next towards the left. And then we're gonna come into the same pose on towards the other side. So the left knee meets the left wrist. And again, foot can variate from close towards the right wrist to close towards the right hip. If you need support, if you'd like to prop up, please feel free to do so. Bring some props underneath your glutes. And then from here, you can stay. If you're comfortable here, please stay. If you prefer to go a little further, you can walk the hands out a little bit. And then if you want to go even further, find that sleeping pigeon. A few deep breaths. You're doing great. About halfway through, stick with it. And those last 5 deep breaths. And then again here, rise slowly. Bring the hands down on towards the mat. Pressing the hands in towards the mat. Bring yourself up on towards the back knee and let the left knee meet the right. Then from there we are going to swing the legs towards one side, across at the ankles and roll back. That's perfect. And we are going to meet all the way down on towards the mat. Great. So here you can bring the feet together and the knees out wide. And again, if you want, you can bring some props underneath the thighs to bring the ground up to you. But if you're comfortable here, please feel free to stay. If it resonates with you, you can bring the right hand on towards the lower belly and the left hand on towards the heart. And breathing here, sending the breath down into that lower belly. Eyes can close if you're comfortable with that. as we stay here, it's again just about 5 more deep breaths. And then you're slowly bringing the legs back together. That's perfect. Then from there, we're going to take the right knee in towards the chest. We're going to flex the ankle. And then we are going to bring the ankle on top of the thighs. Now you can stay here if this is already enough for you into this supine pigeon or figure 4 shape. If you prefer to have a little more, you can interlace the hands behind the hamstring or even behind the shin. So do what's comfortable for you here. And we're going to hold it again for about 5 more deep breaths here. And then we are going to release. And we're going to slide the right foot over the left. And then maybe you interlace once, maybe you interlace twice. I'm going to scooch the hips a little bit over towards the right so the knees can fall over towards the left. Right hand can extend out, or maybe it comes into a 90-degree bend, whatever is most comfortable for you. Can stay with the head facing neutral, or maybe you'd like to turn on towards the right cheek to continue the twist. And again in this pose, it's around 5 more deep breaths. And then slow and controlled, making your way back to center. Uncross the legs, and we're gonna come into figure 4 on towards the other side. So the left knee now reaches in towards the chest. And the ankle comes on top of the thigh, toes point up. And then you can interlace again if you'd like. Of course, the feet can stay on the mat, but otherwise interlace behind the hamstring or maybe behind the shin. And then again there, we relax and take some deep breaths. Allow the body to relax on towards the mat. Good, you're doing great. Taking again those last 5 breaths in this pose. Slowly release, place the right foot down, slide the left leg over the right, wrap around once or maybe twice, and then we're gonna shift the hips towards the left, knee drops over towards the right. Left arm can extend in fully or into that 90-degree bend. And to continue the twist, maybe roll on towards your left ear, looking over towards the left hand. Doing great here, stick with it. And again, about 5 more deep breaths. And on the exhale, you can make your way to center. Uncross the legs. Maybe give them a little shake if that feels good. And we are coming into our final relaxation pose, shavasana. So you can extend one leg out, followed by the other. Allow the toes to fall out towards the sides. Allow the hands, the arms to rest next towards the body. Palms facing up. Taking this moment to relax, restore. Slowly creating some movement back into the body. And taking any stretch that you could use right now. If you want to move onto one side, please feel free to do so. And from there we will transition up into any comfortable seat of your choice. Bringing the hands in front of the heart if that's comfortable for you. Thank you for showing up for this practice. And I hope to see you soon. Namaste.